conversation is in the building. Brought to you by Tea Time Black Women Talk. The TTEA is compliments of talented Imperial Awakened Black women giving their time, TIME, theories, ideas, mindset, and bringing evolution to the table. In this case, a podcast. Sip, sip. Caution, it might be hot. Today we have Mia X, EB, Mo the Oracle, and I am Tam IE. Let's see what we got.
I could have saved my 2 hours and 14 minutes. I want them back.
Was it 2 hours and 14? Oh, I'm so distraught. I'm like in a bad mood. Like I came home and blew up on my kids. Now, granted,
why you do that?
Huh?
What happened?
I think they earned it. These jokers, let me tell you about these jokers, right? So I purposefully tell them to eat a sandwich and or a burrito out of the freezer, right? Like the microwave joints, right?
Yeah, yep.
No. They done cook burritos on top of the stove, the frozen joints on top of the stove.
Can you do that?
Right. My point exactly.
It gets better. It gets better.
Does it? Because right now, I'm
letting go. I'm in a let go stage.
Girl, it's too much for the kid. Because I'm just like, why? I mean, what? How did you thunk that? And I had to read the directions to make sure I wasn't missing something. And the directions, hold on, let me go get them out the trash can. Hold on a minute, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. It sounds like she put down the phone, too. That's cool. Don't tell me Tammy got one of them big yellow phones on it. She got a BlackBerry and one of them big yellow phones on the wall with a cord that's about 25 feet long.
What cord?
You got a big yellow phone on the kitchen wall with a cord that's about 25 feet long?
No, girl. The kitchen's right by where we record. So it says, step 1, remove wrapper and place burrito on microwave safe plate. Step 2, microwave on high for 1 minute. Flip burrito and cook for additional minutes. Then let cool. For best results, thaw burrito in fridge overnight. Microwave on high for 1.5 minutes. Where did you get stove from? Then it says, to learn how to grill your burrito on a panini press. On a panini press, fry it up like a chimichanga. They don't even know what a damn chimichanga is. Or bake in the oven. Visit evolfoods.com. You think my search history says Evolve Foods?
I'm going to give them an A+ for the initiative, though.
You know what? You know what, Mom? I'm going to let them come stay at your house. How about that?
So how you like the movie?
I didn't. I'm very stressed. I'm upset. I think I'm angry. But, I was trying to get some more feedback from folks on Facebook, but nobody's answered.
I almost feel like I can't have this conversation with you a little bit because I love the movie, and I'm trying to be like that person who not like, oh, she don't like other people's opinion, but I don't care for y'all opinion tonight. Sure don't.
Hey man,
listen, I respect your I don't know how to say it now. I respect your opinion to like this movie, but it sucked.
Okay.
It sucked.
Tell me.
I respectfully disagree. I love this.
But okay, so how y'all want to do this? Tell me.
Well, I think Mia had a question too in this, so I know, sorry. And I thought her question was very relevant to this movie and the relationships that we have within the Black community too. So how do we want to structure this? Because I like the question that Mia had.
I saw the question. It was, let me go back to it.
It was separate from the movie. It wasn't to be.
Well, we can definitely segue into it. So do we want to go right in on that atrocity of a movie?
No. What I want to do is start with, let's start with everybody's opinions. And then we can break down the why it was great and why those of us who felt it was horrible. And then we can go from there. I would kind of like to break it down from the beginning to the end, though, because I just have so much to say. I'm so troubled.
Troubled?
I am.
That's a very strong word.
Yes, I am. I'm very troubled. Or I don't know if perplexed is a better word. I did try to change that statement on Facebook, but I am troubled. I'm saddened to an extent as well. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at, really and truthfully.
Well, I personally enjoyed the movie. I do receive it for what it was, entertainment. Although I am one to look at a movie and I could easily dissect it and see, you know, the certain frustrations that you and Mo share. But for the most part, I really enjoyed it. I think I kind of looked at it from a different angle. I'm not looking for it to be anything more than what it was, entertainment. But, you know, I respect you and Mo's
I don't
opinion.
agree that it was to be only entertainment, because there were some serious messages in that movie.
Right.
Do you think there were false messages, though? I mean, let's get to the bottom of it, because you seem to be the one that's the most passionate about disliking it. So we need to go ahead and break down what your emotions on the movie.
I don't know that I'm the most passionate.
No.
Yeah, you
don't get silent now. Let's go ahead and break it down, because you've been on the I hated it bandwagon, and we need like a reason why. Let's go. Let's dive right in.
I don't know. So
let's dive right in.
We can start with the fact. Okay, go ahead, Tammy.
I just want to put everybody's opinions out first.
Nah, go ahead. You passionate, say it.
But we gotta have some structure to the show, so we gotta start somewhere.
And we starting why Tammy disliked it. Let's go.
We gotta start.
You are very troubled, so right now we gotta counsel you. So come on.
Counsel? Hey, that movie that movie needs some counseling. Black folks need some counseling. That whole thing was a horrible mess.
Right. Like, first of all, let me start by saying I love all of y'all before we
Let's go. No kumbaya. Let's go. You stalling.
Oh man. So Mia gave her opinion about she liked the movie. So as far as like I was concerned, I just, from start to finish, I do think there was two things going on. So I get the entertainment part. I actually like the action parts of everything. I like when the guy, the white guy, the captain guy was, you know, trying to shoot the planes down and keep them from getting out of Wakanda. I like the tech girl, the little sister. She was cool. And T'Challa, like he was how I said, like he was like borderline sexy, just a little bit, like, you know, like handsomely intelligent and passionate. So like I can appreciate his character to an extent. And I think it was just from start, I guess I didn't like the mixture of the hood versus the comic. I don't know that it meshed all that well, and I thought that it was over dramatic. I do know kids, you know, grow up in the hood. I didn't quite get in the beginning. I kind of, y'all know I'm always late, but I wasn't late to the movie. I had to go to the bathroom. So I missed kind of like the opening. All I heard was why, and the movie opened. So when T'Challa, let me get the names right because I just saw it, so I don't have everything down pat. When his father came and saw his brother and all of that jazz, I didn't quite get that, obviously, until the end. And so we move forward in the movie where he gets, you know, his kingdom and all of that. I thought it was super cute, actually, his relationship with, I guess, Lupita. But I thought that was cute. To that, I feel like I'm all over the place because I was writing my points down.
You are.
Y'all really want me to go for it. So I didn't like I said, I didn't like the ghetto scene versus I didn't like the division between, so there's a notable division, which is real life actually, between Africans and African Americans.
So why are we upset that it's depicted in the movie?
Because everybody has this allegiance to Africa. And I think that when you know that, but they're not looking at it like that. I don't know that was the intention though. Like, I think it was like, oh, Africa should, help Black America. Did y'all get that?
No.
No.
Why
not? No,
I
didn't.
Because
I didn't.
If all the weapons are to be sent out to the those that look like us and the oppressed, who is the oppressed?
Everybody in the African diaspora. But what I kind of thought of it was on a higher, listen, I gotta say that I have to look at this movie from the standpoint that a white person wrote it. So this is
there were black
this
writers,
is their
though.
creation.
There were black writers though.
Yeah, no, this whole thing was created from a white man.
But you're talking about the comic itself, but there were black writers for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. They wrote a script, but the comic itself is the creation of a white man writing a script and telling people that this is having a outline for a movie with themes and messages, and then telling people to write words for the script is two different things.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, the initial comic Black Panther was created by I think his name is Stan Lee. But if you listen to why Stan Lee created it, I mean, it's a commendable creation. I do understand that it goes back to goes back to a white person kind of like owned the image. But I do think he was being a commendable white person and trying to give black people a face. Apparently one of his best friends was black, and he saw that we didn't have any images, and so he created that. So, I mean, I'm good on that. I mean,
I'm good on that because from the respect that nobody can, we can't, I don't need them to tell our story. And when they do tell our story, we have to understand it from their point of view, whether it's commended or not. Whether it was because there was no other images, there was nobody else out there writing, or nobody else had the opportunity, they wouldn't look at our stuff to even put it out there in mainstream for us to get the opportunity for us to tell our story either. Whatever the reasons was to got him to that point, that's fine. Commendable or not, I don't really care. But if we're not telling the story, then we have to lead from that point of view. And we didn't tell this story.
Yeah, but if they gave black people the opportunity to write it, which is how I believe it went from the ghetto to Africa to the oppressed to my slave people, I would rather die than be held in bondage. Like, that whole thing.
That's some bullshit right there too.
I agreed, but that's not the point.
There.
I agreed, but that's not the point. The point is, black people wrote that.
That's fine. They wrote a script. I'm giving you that. They wrote a script deep in steeped in European ideology and indoctrination of the oppressed. Somehow have the responsibility of fixing oppression. We all have to work together. The black people who have been oppressed have to work to fix oppression. I don't know what message that could be more insulting to someone who has seen generations of black people be oppressed. That my history is not unknown to me. That you would say it is that it's somehow our responsibility to fix oppression. That can't happen.
Wait. Say that again. That we shouldn't have to fix oppression?
No, we shouldn't. Why would you the oppressed have to? How is it that the theme of this movie is designed around the oppressed having the responsibility to fix oppression. We're the oppressors. We're the oppressed. The oppressors have to fix oppression.
But Wakanda was not considered oppressed.
But the point is, they expected Wakanda to use its resources in conjunction with the CIA of all places, the American government.
I didn't get that. I don't think they expected Wakanda to use their resources. Wakanda volunteered their resources.
No, that's not how that. No, they
Wakanda to use their resources. Did I blink too long?
That whole thing could have been set up to me, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying, so that this could happen, so that they could get access to those resources. Once they found out that Wakanda had some sort of power source, the vibranium, then it was, how can we get to it? Just like they tap into all other reasons. Now, we can't go in there like the Dutch did back in the 1600s and just conquer. You know what I'm saying? We can't go in there and do that, but we can find other ways to get in there. And what other ways is to have somebody come in and infiltrate?
See, I thought that was the message behind it, was to link it back to the past, how the colonizers did come into Africa and pretty much take over the resources, took the resources, and used them pretty much against the people. And that's what I thought Wakanda was some of Wakanda was trying to prevent from happening, which was letting the inside world in to use what they have to, like, pretty much re-put them back into the cycle.
Mm-hmm. Agree with that.
And I thought, I don't know.
Should we start the show over?
No. Why are we starting over?
No, I like it. I mean, that's the biggest problem that I have with the message, of the movie, and it only makes sense that message would be the movie, because that message would come from the movie, because its creators is coming from a European ideology. And don't think we can't believe that even if it had black writers, that those black writers are somehow not in line to receive the same programming. There is nothing out here that is just for entertainment. Everything is about programming. Everything is about delivering some type of message, whether it's a direct message or a less conspicuous message that points to the white power structure.
I agree with that. Because even with me seeing the movie, and when I say from an entertainment perspective, meaning I'm not going to be so caught up where I'm going to be distraught if I see something that I disagree with. There were many things that I saw. The one thing that stood out about me is when they had the white boy there, the CIA agent, and they brought him to Wakanda, and she told him, "Oh, he saved my life." That kind of took me back to the white Jesus, and I saw a whole bunch of subliminals. One thing about me, when I look at a movie, I'm able to dissect it, from a realistic perspective. It's just that I saw so many other positive elements to this, because for once, and I do understand the full creative control probably initially came from, the comic book writer who was white. I didn't know that. Now I know. But I do understand that the directors and everything, the cast were black. The cast was black. The imagery was black. Not only that, all the actors were dark chocolate women. So
that was a plus. And big shout out to M'Baka, because that brother is fine. But yeah,
just like dudes with beards.
I'm gonna give him he needs time on this show. We got to give him his claps. If we throw some claps in there on the edit. Let
me help you.
Yes, run me claps, please. Run me my claps. I'll take them.
let me.
That's his name.
Where should I begin to why I enjoyed this movie so much? First of all, I am a junkie when it comes to superheroes, so I probably appreciate it from start, without even having to tap into the messages at first, because I did go see it twice. I really appreciated as we spoke before, Mia brought this up many times, of seeing African Americans in a light that don't just present us as slaves or baby mama daddy drama or straight up, stupid ass comedy, which, shout out to the comedy.
Who was what the ghetto dude?
They didn't. I don't understand what element of the movie that you saw that was so like a Friday type comedy, because I didn't see that whatsoever.
Not comedy, but so what do you think? The guy who was considered the bad guy, what was he? He was hood. He was or ghetto
Killmonger.
Or yeah.
Okay, at the same time, now this is going back to one of Mia's messages. There is nothing wrong with embracing that part of our culture. It is real. It exists. There are ghetto people. Like, we come from the hood. Ghetto. Why should we not be a part of the movie?
Savages. They're savages. All of that. That wasn't.
Well, that's how they think of us, though.
Some of us are savages. Like we come from a concrete jungle. It's a product of your environment. Hey, we do some crazy ass shit because that's what we have to do. We're animals created by a system. It was all set up that way. So I don't feel like his character was false. I felt like it was very real. Like he was a product of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like people are a product of what happened to them. I don't think if it would have turned out, differently, his father would have lived. That whole bullshit would have happened where whatever, he would have got a chance to see Wakanda. He would have turned out to be a completely different person, just like many people in the hood.
But how was he hood, though? Because he graduated.
And that's my thing. I think
trained. He was a decorated, from what they made it
military man.
Decorated military man.
What I'm saying is his persona. His
persona is what bothers her.
But that's a European. That's another European standard of what something is supposed to look like a cookie cutter. A cookie cutter, and that's not how we come. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I was bothered by that, but I don't. I don't know if it was
because
so much
to me it plays back into the stereotype. We can't have a movie without somebody being,
But there were so many other.
I mean, are we all one way though? Are we all one way?
We're not. No, we're not. We're an autonomous.
I mean, I just was like, okay, this is a stereotypical character here.
But stereotype is based in reality to some degree.
A stereotype is definitely based in European ideology too, because the movie did represent intellectuals in a different atmosphere. The sister, M'Baka. They might have made him seem like a brute, but he was actually an intelligent individual, and as well as the general, the woman. These are intelligent folks. You know what I'm saying? So we were represented in different levels of variety that we are in. I don't think there was anything wrong with that, of having that representation, because that's a reality. It exists. But on that same note of speaking, why we still had black combatants. You know what I'm saying? We still have two individuals being enemies to each other, and that message right there bothered me to the degree that it didn't bother me to the degree that it was affected by what white supremacy. It bothered me because in our community we have a big issue with just destroying things instead of doing like grown folks do and coming to a resolution or a way to move forward and progress, instead of we'll just tear the whole thing down, kill people, destroy people, kill events, kill circumstances, and just deaden progress because we don't get along or we've been slighted in some type of way. We are in the black community overall. We have some mature people in the black community. We have some people with a lot of knowledge, but as a whole, the black community has an adolescent mindset.
So would you have appreciated more if they would have come from a standpoint of resolution rather than depicting what actually happened?
Yeah, absolutely. Killmonger you don't have to die. It was wrong for their father to leave anybody behind like that.
Yeah,
it was wrong for his father to do that. It was it was our responsibility as the next generation to come in and fix that, embrace that some kind of way, get you back on. Yeah, I want to see that kind of stuff happen, because that's one of the biggest issues that we have in the Black community, is that we don't communicate to the point that we can move on and progress. We're gonna take this to we're gonna be the Hatfields and the McCoys out here, and we're gonna kill each other to the last family member standing on each side. And we're not gonna ever come, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna progress out of these cornfields. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not going nowhere. We just gonna destroy, and that's something that we can't. Our community can no longer afford to do. We have to have somebody. Got to start being some grown ups here. We got to get past this petty. This petty, behavior or existence that we're in, where we turn our back on each other, and my resources are my resources, and your resources are your resources, and we're not gonna come together and complement each other in any kind of way. We just gonna fight.
Well,
and let our community be infiltrated so that we can demonize each other. You know what I'm saying? Killmonger wasn't a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? He was not the bad guy in this movie. The colonizers were.
Yeah, but he may not have been complete. So he was a product of his environment, obviously. However, there was no come to Jesus. So you're over here killing people without even having a conversation. Like if these are your people, you come back to kill them, but off of a situation that's misunderstood, obviously, because T'Challa was really willing to rectify that situation. He was upset about it.
I felt like the reason he became who he was because of a sense of abandonment. He identified with I look at it as the Negro perspective versus the African. He felt abandoned. So at the same time, I felt like in my opinion, I identified most with him because he was trying to be the hero for the Negroes, those that were oppressed. And he had a sense of abandonment when he got to his other side, which is the, Wakandians or whatever you want to call them. He got to them and he was angry because this was his family who left him. They didn't care if he died or lived. So when he got there, he was going all in for his people. That's how I looked at it. I didn't see him. Yes, he was made to be the villain. I hated when he got killed because honestly, I felt like, damn, I wish he would have lived. Then it could have, portrayed in a different light. But for the most part, I didn't see him as being as vicious as everybody else thought he looked. Because I understood what he was
I definitely didn't see him as vicious. I definitely didn't see him that way either. I seen him as a little haphazard and reckless. It spoke definitely to our adolescent mindset because your plan was to get the vibranium out of there to be used, but then there was no organization to do that. You were giving the vibranium to the government. They would have used that against us.
Yeah, he was willing to fight and kill for it to help others. I mean,
he was giving it to the government. He didn't organize Black people to say, okay, we're going to use this vibranium and we're going to start taking over. He was giving it to the government. The white people.
He was giving it I didn't get that part from it. I thought.
Yeah, I got that.
He most definitely was. He was actually giving it to the highest bidder. He didn't have a strategy. He wasn't trying to save them. He was trying to destroy them for, abandoning him. He wasn't trying to start a revolution. A revolution. He was literally trying to, take Wakanda out because they even said that in the movie that he was military trained, and their whole objective as a military is to come in, conquer, take over, take over the world. So he wasn't a revolution.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a revolutionary. He wasn't given that. There was no black, or he wasn't Marcus Garvey. There was no black military militia or anything that he was coming back to give that to a black militia that would, use those technologies to, move the African diaspora forward. There was none of that. None of that. That spoke directly to the adolescent mindset of black folks now. He was
I guess
childlike.
we have different understandings because I felt like Wakanda had put, just like they had put the king's brother on Earth as a spy. They had sent other people out in various parts of the world to be spies as well. And so apparently, as his brother grew up and felt abandoned, so he was sending out the weapons to the other persons that they had put out there to kind of take over those that put them in compromising positions.
There was no way he had the ability to do that because he was outsider himself. Yeah.
He was given the vibranium initially in 1992 to Claw, a white man.
But he didn't give it to Claw. The kid didn't give it to Claw. The other guy,
I'm talking about the brother, the uncle. The uncle was originally still in the vibranium to give it to Claw. He wasn't still in the vibranium to start a black militia or revolution or anything. He was giving it to Claw.
But he claimed to help people.
So help who?
He was doing because
I'm confused.
He was mentioning how Wakanda was keeping everything for themselves, and Wakanda was selfish because they wasn't trying to really help the oppressed. And he did.
But how was giving it to Claw helping anything though? Claw was a villain. He was an evil white man.
But I don't know.
They was going to use. They was going to do
at the time.
Yeah,
we know Claw was
are villains. All white people are villains.
Well, but what I'm saying is the brother, the uncle, didn't seem to know that Claw was a villain at the time.
All white people, as a collective.
We're talking about in the movie, though, Mo. We're talking about in the movie.
Listen, I'm talking about reality. No. As a collective, all white people are villains. They will get together. They will get together and use whatever resources they have to either use their privilege to oppress us, or they'll use actual physical power to oppress us. Understand that we have people in this country that can die with their full rights afforded to them. Philando Castile, Corrine Gaines, that can be killed without retribution.
Right.
So
I
as
get
a collective,
what you're saying about that,
yeah.
but along the storyline, when he explained why he gave the vibranium, he said that the streets are flooded with drugs and things of that nature, and that could actually be used to help people.
Yeah, but the CIA is the one who flooded the streets with drugs. So we're gonna give white people some more weapons to use against us.
But that's taking it out of context of the movie, though. Like the context of the movie is he was apparently a drug dealer. He seemed to have become a drug dealer.
He was a weapons. I thought he did weapons, but okay.
Girl, where you getting all these extra things from? Are you sure we're watching the same movie?
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
I'm like,
we need you to watch it a second time.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, Tammy, I'm gonna need you to not
fresh.
worry about burritos.
And that's the part.
To be a savior for them.
But that's the part that I came in on, so maybe I missed the whole setup.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
I am, you said?
Yeah.